Hello everybody, and welcome to Theology 101. Today we are going to look at the book of Daniel. The book of Daniel is the 27th book of the Old Testament. The Hebrew Bible has three sections: the Law, Prophets, and Writings. The Law consists of the first 5 books of the Old Testament. The Prophets consist of 8 books divided into the former prophets and the latter prophets. The major prophets are made up of 5 books: Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, and Daniel. The writings consist of religious poetry and wisdom literature, and in the traditional Christian ordering of the Bible, Daniel is part of the major prophets section of the Old Testament. Now, the book of Daniel was originally written in 2 different languages around 530 BC, Hebrew and Aramaic. Daniel chapter 1 and then Daniel chapters 8 through 12 are written in Hebrew, while Daniel chapters 2 to 7 are written in Aramaic. Traditionally, the book of Daniel follows Ezekiel and precedes Hosea. Primary purpose of the book of Daniel is to express God's sovereignty over the nations and how his kingdom will come on earth forever. The main theme of the book is the kingdom, and the book's message can be summarized in this verse: how great are his signs, how mighty his wonders. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and his dominion endures from generation to generation. Let me go over the structure of Daniel. The book of Daniel has 12 chapters and can be divided into 2 parts. The first part, Daniel chapters 1 through 6, provides the historical context and background of Daniel and the experiences of the Israelites during his time. These chapters give insight into Daniel's life and the challenges he faced living as an exile in Babylon. The second part, Daniel chapters 7 through 12, shifts the focus to Daniel's visions and prophecies about God's future kingdom that will come on earth. Now, let me give you the historical context of the book of Daniel. The book of Daniel takes place during the Babylonian exile, which occurred in the 6th century BC. Daniel was an Israelite prophet who in 605 BC was among those taken captive and exiled to Babylon during the reign of the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar II. Due to this captivity, the Jewish population faced cultural and religious challenges. They were in a foreign land with a different culture that was centered around polytheistic religious practices. The Jewish people had to serve King Nebuchadnezzar while also trying to retain their integrity and faithfulness towards God. Daniel faced many trials, such as being thrown in a lion's den, but he eventually rose through the ranks among the Babylonian men, and God used Daniel to interpret the king's dreams and to prophesy about the future. Let me go over the major themes in the book of Daniel. The first theme in Daniel is God's sovereignty. The captivity of the Jewish people by the Babylonians was not something that caught God by surprise. Daniel shows that God hands the Jewish people over to the Babylonians as divine punishment for their sins of idolatry, immorality, and misuse of their power. Therefore, the Lord has kept ready the calamity and has brought it upon us. For the Lord our God is righteous in all the works that he has done, and we have not obeyed his voice. Daniel highlights God's sovereignty by showing he has control over history and the ability to accomplish his will without restraint. Daniel answered and said, "Blessed be the name of God forever and ever, to whom belong wisdom and might. He changes times and seasons. He removes kings and sets up kings. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to those who have understanding. He reveals deep and hidden things. He knows what is in the darkness, and the light dwells with him." The second theme is God's everlasting kingdom. The theme of an everlasting kingdom gives us hope and assurance that God will reverse the effects of the fall. Ever since the fall, the main message of the Bible is restoration and not salvation. Did you know that? As the apostles taught, God is in the process of restoring all things on earth back to the way he designed in Genesis chapters 1 to 2, whom heaven must receive until the time for restoring all the things about which God spoke by the mouth of his holy prophets long ago. So the book of Daniel continues this theme by giving a picture that God's kingdom will establish his righteous rule on earth. And in the days of those kings, the God of heaven will set up a kingdom that shall never be destroyed, nor shall the kingdom be left to another people. It shall break in pieces all these kingdoms and bring them to an end, and it shall stand forever. Daniel emphasizes God's kingdom being eternal to help the Jewish audience, who were the Israelite exiles living in Babylon, understand that God will overthrow all earthly earthly kingdoms and powers, including Babylon. During a period when the Jewish people were living under foreign domination, experiencing persecution, and facing a heavy polytheistic culture, God's kingdom served as a source of hope. While human rulers may wield temporary power, Daniel affirmed that God's kingdom will surpass all. The third and final theme is the Son of Man. The book of Daniel emphasizes the anticipation of a coming Son of Man who will establish an everlasting kingdom and be bestowed with glory and dominion over all people. I saw in the night visions, and behold, with the clouds of heaven there came one like a son of man. And he came to the Ancient of Days and was presented before him. And to him was given dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom one that shall not be destroyed. The label, Son of Man, refers to the future Messiah prophesied in the book of Isaiah. This future messianic figure will rule God's kingdom with all dominion on earth over all peoples, nations, and languages. This foreshadows what the Apostle John writes in the book of Revelation regarding those who are part of God's kingdom. After this I looked, and behold, a great multitude that no one could number, from every nation, from all tribes and peoples and languages, standing before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed in white robes, with palm branches in their hands, crying out with a loud voice, "Salvation belongs to our God who sits on the throne and to the Lamb." Finally, we see that the identity of the Son of Man is solidified with Jesus himself when he identifies himself this way. And Jesus said, "I am, and you will see the Son of Man seated at the right hand of power and coming with the clouds of heaven." Thank you to today's sponsor, On Reverence. They offer a free digital worship music app called Maskill. If you want to find out more, I'll leave some links below in the description box. If you missed the last video about the book of Ezekiel, I'll leave a link here for you to watch. And then until next time, see you.